Maddy stopped arguing. Once Ava's discharge form listed Bree as Luke's live-in partner, the room shifted the second the nurse asked which girlfriend was taking Ava home. Ava is my boyfriend, Luke's 6-year-old daughter. We had all been at his mother's cookout when Ava started wheezing after eating the wrong cookie. It ended up mild, more scary than serious. But we still spent hours in pediatric urgent care with cartoon fish on the walls and too many adults trying to sound calm. I had been with Luke 11 months, long enough that he kept talking about us getting a place together once his temporary housing mess settled. He said he was mostly sleeping at his brother's house while the divorce dust settled. His co-parent, Maddy, and I were never close, but we managed. There had been things I hated and then excused. A woman named Bree texting after midnight. Luke saying she was part of Ava's soccer parent group. Him canceling on me twice because Maddy was being impossible, even though Maddy never sounded impossible when I heard her. At urgent care, Luke filled out intake while I sat with Ava and his mother paced with apple juice and panic. Maddy came straight from her sisters. Nobody fought because sick kids' faces make adults behave. Once Ava was cleared, the discharge nurse came back with a pickup form and asked, "If Bree can't get here, are you both approving father's partner for release, or is Miss Holloway taking her?" "Miss Holloway is Maddy," Luke said. "Too fast. There is no Bree." The nurse looked down and handed him the printout. I saw it over his wrist. Authorized adult updates submitted 7 days earlier. Father, Luke Danner. Live-in partner, Bree Keller. Approved. For pickup, medication, overnight observation contact. My hands went cold. Luke said the clinic must have pulled old-school data. Maddy took the paper from him and said, "No, they didn't." I had to approve that addition, because they said Ava needed a second household adult if she was staying overnight there. Luke had been telling me for months he was staying with his brother. His mother Sandra went still. I asked Luke if Bree was the soccer mom, the roommate, or the woman at the address he kept insisting belonged to his brother. He said Bree had only helped a few nights when work ran late, and the form overstated things. That might have kept the room muddy if Maddy had not answered over him. "She's not childcare," Maddy said. He told me she was his girlfriend in February, so I would stop asking who Ava was sleeping around. February was 4 months after Luke and I started dating. People could still argue details. He called Bree his girlfriend just to calm co-parent drama. Live-in partner could have been clinic language, not his. Maybe the overlap was emotional first and physical later, but none of that helped him with both mothers staring at the same line. I asked whether Bri was the reason he never let me come by after 9 and always met me near my side of town. He said I was turning admin paperwork into a cheating trial in front of Ava's mother. Maddy laughed once. "No," she said. "You did that when you put 2 households on one timeline." That was the turn. Suddenly, this was not me being insecure around a co-parent. It was Luke getting caught running 2 versions of his life through one child's paperwork. Sandra asked whether Bree had been around Ava while Luke was still promising me an apartment. Maddy said Ava would not be going back to Luke's place until she knew exactly who Bree was and what story Luke had been telling both houses. Luke kept saying nothing physical had happened at first, which is not a sentence innocent men reach for early. I told the nurse Maddy could take Ava. Then I called my mother from the hallway and asked her not to let Luke drive me home. Maybe the form labeled the mess harder than he would have. What mattered was that a child's discharge paper tied his lie together in front of the only people whose judgment mattered there, and none of them were on his side by the time the automatic doors opened.